Yo, what is going on, guys? It is the Best Damn Gamer, and I'm here today with Hilton for our all-new series called Talks with Hilton. Now, I'm going to get right into it and let Hilton introduce himself.
What's going on, guys? It's Hilton, Triple H, Face Hilton, whatever you want to call me, whatever y'all know me by. Here today, we got the Best Damn Gamer talking to me, asking me questions.
All right.
We'll see if it's better than my PAX interview. We'll go from there.
Yeah, Hilton's definitely made a name for himself over the years in Call of Duty, and that he's been in Call of Duty, I should say. He was big back in Call of Duty 4, and now he's big again. I've loved the guy for a long time, ever since I met him. He's been a great guy. And so what we want to talk to you about today, guys, is Call of Duty Championships. This is a huge topic right now. Tell me what you know about Call of Duty Championships, Hilton.
Let's all make $1 million, first off. But second off, so we got 13 teams from the Americas, 8 from U.S., 2 from Brazil, Canada, North America, South America, then 13 from Europe, 4 from Asia Pacific, 2 from Africa, Middle East, and it's going to be pretty interesting because not many teams from, I don't know, all the American teams are the ones that I've played with. I played with some European teams, and to be honest, most of the teams outside of Europe and America, no one's really ever played against. And when I go into an event, kind of the things I'm most worried about is the people that you've never really practiced against. Even if you kind of think that you're better than them, they kind of throw things at you that you're not really expecting because you're not playing with them daily. Because all these pros in America are all practicing together on the daily, and they all do the same thing, or for the most part the same thing. They all play the game in the same general basis of a way.
Exactly.
Which is interesting because not many people, I don't know, there's not as much variation as there used to be.
I mean, once like Complexity did, and what Impact did for Black Ops 2 is they made a name for themselves and they started winning every single time because they have strategies that are almost perfected, And these teams that they're playing against every day, I mean, everybody knows what everybody does, but you throw in like a South American team, you've never played against them before. How are you supposed to know what they do? Maybe they have some crazy strategy that you've never seen before. So that could bring some very interesting, it could bring some very interesting things. Now, one of the things I did want to talk about is how these teams are qualifying for the $1 million tournament. And there's been a lot of controversy. Can you tell me what is all this controversy about?
Well, see, they're qualifying online, which is an issue because a lot of people don't have a zero ping. The zero ping is probably the thing that'll help you the most, possibly, and all the people being in the same relative area, kind of the further you are away. So per se, like I'm over here in Atlanta or Texas, and I have a teammate over in California, and if I'm hosting and he's from California, I mean,
it's going to be difficult.
We're far as hell away. Like,
there's still going to be a good connection. If you have good internet, there's still going to be a good connection, but the ping is where it's at.
I don't know. The internet isn't a safe place to judge or to base your skill level, I guess.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of people that will show up to LANs and people will be like, "Oh, these kids aren't good. I destroyed them online, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." And they get to LAN where connection's not even an option, and all of a sudden they're doing great, and it kind of blows people's mind. You're kind of like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, how are these people so good? How are they doing this? And it's because they're genuinely good, but because of their internet, they can't do as well. So in a sense, kind of the more fortunate people that are able to get the better internet, and in certain areas where they offer like Google Chrome, Google Fiber, Google Chrome. That's an internet.
Google Fiber.
Google Fiber and like Fios, etc., which aren't out to the entire public yet.
So those people have a certain
so
advantage.
Than
Exactly.
other people.
Yeah.
And it's unfair. It's like you can have a good gun skill and good communication, good teamwork, but as soon as you put the fact that you're on this internet, all of a sudden you're destroying someone. Like, it's not really a fair basis, which is interesting to me because all these people have been working all year for pro points, and all these other tournaments have been based off pro points, but they aren't really necessarily applying the pro points in a way that I thought that they should.
Yeah.
I felt as if since there's a regional qualifier, and I think it's Florida for America or with the U.S., and 16 teams are going and only top 8 make it to COD champs, I felt as if almost the people that are over there, that are so high up in pro points that have worked all year on Black Ops 2 and this game to be at the top for pro points, spending all their time doing 2Ks, whatever it may be, to get seeded.
I think people are paying for pro points.
The top 8, they're pretty much paying for pro points, which is an interesting fact because it's kind of the only way you can make your name by having more pro points and entering in all these tournaments. But you pay like $20 to enter in a game battles tournament, and you have about a 1% chance of winning, and you're kind of sitting there like,
Especially with
shit,
all
dude, I'm
these
going
great
broke. What's
teams.
going on?
Especially
Like,
with all these great teams that have
and
already
like
made a
all,
name for themselves
yeah,
and
and
have
like
so many pro points already.
yeah, and all those people are already at the top, and it's kind of like, and like all those people are also getting sponsors, and they already have sponsors that'll take them to events. They've already made a name for themselves, and it's kind of like the rich are getting richer. And
Yeah.
it's an interesting system because the pro points, it's not really, I mean, it's based off skill. Like all the pro players, don't get me wrong, are, to be honest, better than the other majority of players. But there's definitely players that aren't considered pro that are definitely good enough to at least absolutely hang with the pros and at least place in those places.
Oh, absolutely.
But they don't ever get their opportunity because of the situation.
And now I did want to mention a couple
So
other things. There's a few interesting twists to the Call of Duty Championships. Now, from what I understand, there's going to be 8 teams from America, which America is obviously the biggest place for Call of Duty, so it's right that it gets the most teams. It's been the same in the past couple years. America gets
Right.
America gets 8 teams to go, and so they have 8 teams. They have 2 online qualifiers, 8 teams from each qualifier that go to Florida on March 8th and 9th and compete at a LAN. And so this LAN should help define, who's the best that gets to go. And so the top 8 teams from that go.
Yeah.
But the big controversy here is the actual online qualifiers that determine whether you even get to participate in that are online. So you could have I've heard so much controversy about people talking about buying JTags on eBay and like going into these online tournaments and just dominating everybody because obviously they have hacks. So that's
Dude,
completely
it's
unfair. And
ridiculous.
so these JTags are going up in price and all this kind of thing. But anyway, aside from that, besides from the complete bullshit that's happening right there, you're going to have 8 teams that go to COD Champs from the U.S. But everybody that's even relatively good, it seems like these days, either plays Claw or has a SCUF controller. And there are no SCUF controllers for the Xbox One, which COD Championships will be on Xbox One. As they announced, it will be the first Call of Duty LAN event on Xbox One, which provides,
which is really
yeah.
weird. Yeah, because they haven't released the scuffs yet. I mean, they very well could do it right before COD Champs. That'd probably be a good business.
But even then, the controller is
for
different.
individuals,
The
but-
controller is different, so it's
but
going to
even
take getting
then,
used
the
to.
controller's a lot different. It's all these people are qualifying on Xbox 360 because that brings the majority of the people, but they're then going to be competing on Xbox One, which is a completely different animal. I mean, same song, different beat, but like, it's not the same. Like, I mean, the way the game is played and the way it feels is not the same as it was on the 360 or anything.
Exactly.
Graphics are different. Everything's different. Like some of the maps even feel different,
Exactly.
even though they're the exact same.
And
I don't know,
one more
they're
thing.
they're like
One more thing that this presents, the fact that, online qualifiers are determining a lot of who gets to go to this actual tournament. Another thing that this presents is people are like, oh, well, there's so much competition in America, maybe I should just go play for another team. And so one of the rules states for the Call of Duty Championships qualifying for it, you have to have only 2 members from the qualifying nation on that team to be eligible for the. So you could have a Canadian team that's only 2 Canadians and 2 Americans, so you've got Americans
Right.
that are like,
They all
oh, well,
live-
we
they
have
all
no
live- they all live in
chance.
America.
Exactly. You've got Americans that are like, we have no chance over here, so we're just going to go play for a Canadian team and try to qualify with them. Granted, there's only 2 Canadian teams going. There's 2 Canadian online
which is also-
qualifiers, and so 1 team from each qualifier, which presents your odds go way down even more, so.
Right, which creates a lot of kind of chaos because all these people are having all these team changes, and to be honest, all these team changes, yeah, they're good, and everyone says that they're thinking about the future, but to be honest, most of these teams are probably going to change their roster sometimes the next.
Oh yeah,
But
oh yeah,
realistically, it's teamwork that wins championships. It's not individuals.
oh
So,
absolutely.
I mean, someone could individually be better than every other person in the entire game, but they're not going to win a tournament because you're not a one-man team. No one wins
Yep.
a Super Bowl by one person unless your name's like, I don't know, Peyton Manning. I don't know.
Exactly.
Someone that can literally say, I'm going to put the entire team on my back and do everything, but you can't really have that in Call of Duty because 1v4s, if you can do that, by God, go do it, and you're better than everyone, but to be honest, consistency and winning is coming through teamwork and the ability to work together as one driving force and not just one individual person trying to do their own little thing.
I completely agree.
So all these team changes are happening. The age limits change. It's no longer 17. Last year was 17. So all the people that thought they were going to be able to play because they're 17
Yep.
can no longer play.
Exactly. That's a huge thing.
And there's I'm not sure what the date is, but there's a limit as to when you have to turn 18.
It was
So,
by January 1st, I believe it was. or January
Yeah,
5th
well,
or
see,
something
so
like
all
that.
these people that are going to be 18 by the time the actual tournament comes around aren't going to actually be able to compete, even though that
Even
they're already 18 when the tournament is
I
being
think
played, which is
I think a
weird.
big player was it
Because
Miyagi? I believe it was Miyagi that was going to be turning 18 beforehand.
Miyagi was 15 day, he was like 15 days away, I believe.
Yeah,
He's
that's
my
crazy.
Asian Ninja Duo, if y'all didn't know. So shout out to Miyagi, Asian Ninja Duo.
That's crazy. But to sum things up, for
And
this Call of Duty Championships tournament, you're going to have 32 teams from around the world competing for $1 million. And obviously, $1 million is a huge incentive. And so you've got online qualifiers that are presenting a huge issue, which there's going to be, host booting, cheating, all kinds of other things. If you're not familiar with those things, then you obviously haven't played online too much. There's going to be a lot of controversy about cheating. There's going to be like no scuff controller. It's going to be on Xbox One. You've got teams that can't compete because their players are under 18 years old. There's all these kind of problems. So I mean, let us know.
You got half the community saying, "Scumpy, why did you turn 18? Why couldn't you stay at 17?"
Exactly.
That's what like half of the world saying. You know what I mean? Hey Seth, if you see this, you probably won't see this, but if you see this, love you, baby.
So guys, let us know in the comments what you think about all of this
please.
kinds of things, and
We got a video. You can wave.
and I think that about sums things up here, guys. I appreciate you watching. Make sure to like and subscribe on the video. I'll let Hilton do his thing like he always does, and I really appreciate him coming on for this. You'll see a lot more of him in this series, so thanks, Hilton.
And as always, YouTube, don't do anything we wouldn't do, and I'm out.
Peace.